Well, Claudio, let's go back. I want to take the audience here a little bit through your journey as an entrepreneur.
Right.
And so you are the founder, co-founder and CEO of Body Details. What spurred the idea to start Body Details? And tell us a little bit more about how it all unfolded.
Yeah, so my business partner and I, we met in college. He recruited me actually into a fraternity. And I just wanted contacts. I was originally on a pre-law track. And we were always pretty entrepreneurial because we were both broke. We were both we grew up poor, relatively speaking. I have a single mom, raised 2 kids. And we just, stumbled onto an idea to promote nightclubs. And this is how we had our first real foray into real business. Both of us sold candy in high school to make money. And I think I've known a lot.
I did the same thing. I did it in middle school.
Yeah, I think a lot of entrepreneurs tend to have that thing.
Blow pops.
I sold blow pops. I calculated I could get these at Costco, 3 cents, and sell them for 25. It's great margin. But I went to a school in Miami. I got robbed at one point, and I stopped selling candy after that. No, but so we did that, and we in the fraternity one day we went to a nightclub. We brought a bunch of people there. And the nightclub owner was like, "This is amazing. There's 40 people in my club at 10 o'clock. How do I get you guys to come back?" And I was just like, "Cha-ching, that's a business idea." I was like, "What if you give us a cut of the door?" And he was like, "Done." And so I talked to my, fraternity brother at the time, and I said, "Hey, we should make a promotions company and do this all the time." And he loved the idea. And then we just started doing promotions for the nightclubs in college, and it became very successful. We had all the Greek, fraternities and sororities doing that. And at one point we were managing 4 nightclubs. We had 7 nights a week going. It was wild. And then we got into bus trips, special event promotions, karaoke nights on nights that weren't popular nights to go out. But it became tiresome, and cumbersome for us to manage going to school. And after we graduated, he decided he was going to go into the corporate world, started working for a company called the Mobile Solution, which at one point was the largest cell phone distribution company in the country. And he was doing really well. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Just came out of the promotions business and was bartending to make money at the time and decided I'm going to get my master's. But I was also always into fitness. And body hair sucks. As blessed as I am to be Italian and Brazilian, I'm also cursed with body hair of Italians and Brazilians. So, I didn't like having hair on my back or hair on my shoulders. And so I said, how do I get this for free?
That's like a free T-shirt, though.
Yeah, exactly. It keeps you warm in the winter, but not my preference in South Florida. But I was like, how do I get this for free while I'm going to be getting my master's, self-funding that, and, working as a bartender? And so I said, maybe there's a place that will offer this if I get a job there. I had some extra time on my hands in between, classes. So I found a location, I applied for a job and was hired. And one of the benefits was, sure enough, laser hair removal. And in the process of getting that service, I realized that, this business is a phenomenal business. Everybody who's coming in there is interested. It was growing. People were highly excited about the fact of never having to shave again. And then I constantly had customers coming in and asking us about tattoo removal and services that weren't being offered at the location I was at. So I thought to myself, man, is anyone doing tattoo removal in the area? And there was only one doctor in Fort Lauderdale, and he only spent 50% of his time here. He came from New York and would come down here half the year. And so I said, man, we could corner this market, be a tattoo removal and laser hair removal provider, and be the only ones, and no one's doing it. And at the time in 2006, this was 2005 when we were thinking about starting the business, it was really cutting edge, like totally new. Lasers have been in existence for a long time, but not that many people are doing the service, popularly and for cosmetic purposes. So we're like, okay, let's write a business plan and see what can happen. And I called my prior business partner at the time, and he was recently laid off from the Mobile Solution. And he's like, man, this sucks. I was doing so well. I was making 80 grand a year, whatever it was, and they just fired me out of the blue.
Wow.
And I said, what happened? And he said, well, he thinks that they were restructuring because they were trying to take the company and sell it. So they were cutting costs and all these things. And so I said, we should start another company. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He called. He's like, or he talked to me. He's like, I want to start another company. Let's do this. And he wanted to start a pest control business. And, nothing against pest control. We have some good friends. A good friend of ours, Christine, her father owns Al Hoffer Pest Control, a great pest control company. But it was hard for me to imagine going from club promotions and special events and all those things and being like a manager of VIP to the pest control business. So I said, I don't want to do that. I said, but the business I'm in right now, where I'm working, is amazing. We should do this. And after talking to him about it and telling him, the ins and outs of the business and what I thought it could do, he loved the idea. And we had both graduated college, so we decided, let's write a business plan. My business partner, fortunately, has a degree in marketing from FAU as well. And so he's like, look, we need to write a business plan. Let's go to FAU. So we went to FAU, pretended to be students, and just went to the FAU library every day to do all the research we could, use their internet and their resources, and wrote our business plan. It took us about 3.5 months. And then I said to myself, well, we have no idea how to get this money. We were both broke, didn't know anyone with money, didn't really associate with anyone with money. And so we thought to ourselves, we need I think we said we needed about $600,000 to start the business is what we came up with. And so we said to ourselves, how are we going to get the money? And I said, what we need to do? Let's first make sure our business plan is perfect. And so I decided to pitch the person who I knew would be my harshest critic and destroy anything I wrote in there. And if it was bad, he would tell me in a heartbeat. And that was my dad. So my father has never liked any idea I've ever come up with. Even when I was a kid, I was like, Dad, I want to be a psychiatrist. And he's like, you would F up the patients. That was his first response to me. So I was like, this is the perfect person to pitch. I was coming back to Dad because I knew if I pitch this to my father, he'll tell me if it sucked. Because that's just who he is. My father is the most direct.
That's advice, I guess.
I guess so. But I think even if it was pretty good, if it kind of sucked, he'd say it sucked. So I think it was the harsh critic that I needed. And so we pitched him and we convinced him to listen. And shockingly, he loved it. It was the first thing I've ever pitched him that he thought really had legs. And I was like, we were both blown away. We expected him to hate it. He liked it, and then he's like, hold on one second. And he called a friend of his in New York who's a restaurateur, very successful, who had a few restaurants, had a Ferrari, all the good things, and said, hey, you need to come down here. You need to hear this pitch. My son has a really good idea. And 2 weeks later, he flew down. We pitched him, and he loved it also. And so they both decided to invest in the business.
Oh, awesome.
Which was mind-blowing to us. No special treatment. No, I'm your son. It was we were going to split the business 4 ways. We're going to pay them back in full on their investment before any distributions are taken. It was a pretty harsh business deal, but a deal for us. The first person we pitched decided to invest, so we were happy. And they ended up investing, I think they gave us about $375,000, so not what we fully needed, but we found a way to open the business with just that much money.